Canberra, as markets are battled for the next generation behind the scenes. However, making a passing this Boeing 747-400 of Australia's Qantas. It's the jet with the longest reach in the business, and this one holds the distance record of London to Sydney non-stop, fulfilling the impossible dream. In command was Captain David Massey-Green, the airline's 747-400 project pilot.
The main thing was to get the aeroplane capable of range, because the nominal full range of the aeroplane is 7,900 miles, and we wanted to fly at 9,700. And I must say, I thought they were crazy when they first mentioned it, but gradually realised it was possible. And the main things we had to do was to plan to pare as much weight out of the aeroplane as we possibly could, and yet keep it in service trim. And by that I mean that we didn't want to take any seats out. We're only going to have 23 people on board, or 20 was the original plan. And we pared every ounce, literally, that we could from the aeroplane. We didn't carry any more water than we had to carry for the flight. The final thing was to get enough, some high-density fuel. And produce a very special brew that in fact met the Jet A1 specification.
So in fact, it's unrealistic to imagine that a 747-400 could operationally fly non-stop London to Sydney. No,
absolutely no way. It's one of those things that happens in aviation from time to time, that we demonstrate to the manufacturers and to the public that these sort of things can be done. And it becomes an ideal to aim for the future. After all, there is really only one way to go from A to B, and that's direct.
How long did the flight take?
20 hours and 9 minutes. And 5 seconds.
That's a long...
The last 5 seconds was a long one.
British Airways is now the 747-400's biggest customer, and they're becoming a familiar sight outside Heathrow's Terminal 4. In July, it doubled its original order to 42 in a deal worth nearly £4 billion, BA's largest ever commitment to a new aircraft.
Speedbird 219, clear takeoff 27 left, the wind is westerly at 8.
Clear takeoff, Speedbird 219.
November 161, Echo uniform.
On frequency.
Thank you, Echo uniform. After the City Fellowship departs, line up 27 left.
After the...
Airlines are still adapting to its quirks and capabilities. But how does it vary from other jumbo jets? And what's been learned in its first full year of service? Captain Alan Robinson is chief pilot of BA's 747-400's backbone of the long-haul fleet.
This aeroplane is really a brand new aeroplane. Many of us think it shouldn't have been called a 747 at all. In many ways, it is very different from the classic 747. And this is going to see us well into the 21st century. The VTEC airframe is, I suppose, going to go on for a very long time. It's got a new wing, has a wider wingspan, and it has much more efficient engines. And of course, it's got all of the electronics which take it into the 21st century. It makes a dramatic difference to the operating of the airplane, and the use of electronics and computers means that we can actually fly the airplane with two crew, and that's probably the most significant difference. It does mean that you actually have to approach the job in a slightly different manner. Computers there to help you, provides a lot of information, a great deal of information which we never had in the past. We still have the old-fashioned mechanical instruments. Here they are, the old-fashioned artificial horizon, which is now duplicated electronically, and the airspeed indicator, and the altimeter. They now all moved on to this instrument here, and this is an altimeter, a tape altimeter, and this is an airspeed indicator. But we'd have to lose an immense number of systems before we got down to these. We've now got a flight deck with only 2 men instead of 3 on the classic 747. I don't believe that this is a disadvantage. The systems have actually provided us with a lot of monitoring, which the third man performed. In addition, a lot of the fuel transfer functions and the actual systems handling, which were formerly dealt with by the engineer, are now handled automatically by the systems. We have some absolutely beautiful displays which show us the way the fuel progresses through the airplane, and we can handle all of that ourselves with very little input. Messages will come up and warn us if the fuel transfer is required. In addition, the actual checklist is a lot shorter, certainly a lot more compact than that which you see on most light aircraft. It's all meant a reduction in the workload such that a two-man crew can handle it.
It's not only the flight deck that's been given the upgraded treatment. The cabin has been fine-tuned for passenger comfort and service efficiency, using suggestions from cabin crew themselves. The stretched upper deck is new to BA. It's adapted it as an additional category of service, not first or business, but for economy class passengers paying full rather than discount fares. Larger baggage bins are another important feature, and while passengers are pampered, entertained and dozed through flights of up to 14 hours duration, off-duty crew can also relax in their own sleeping quarters. The computer never sleeps, and its initial over-vigilance caused a number of problems, interfering with controls, producing disruptive power surges and refusing to start engines, causing some captains to wonder if it wasn't a threat to their command.
I think that's a very important point to get across to all pilots flying any aeroplane, that they have the ultimate control of the aeroplane. And if things do go wrong, then back to basics. This aeroplane can be flown basics just the same as any other aircraft. We've got a control column and throttles, we've got all the good old engine instruments, and we've got the instruments here, and indeed we've got the old mechanical instruments, which you can always use at the end of the day. But I think the right stuff's still there, absolutely. But you can find it at playing video games at home, you know, on your home computer.